You did the hard thing. You lost the weight, and nobody told you what else went with it. Ozempic, Wegovy, Mounjaro, Zepbound. Nearly 1 in 5 adults has taken one. You didn't just lose fat. You lost some of the scaffolding. Stay with me, and I'll show you the number that nobody puts on the box. Welcome to the Pelvic Power Hour. Real answers to real questions from real women. Today's topic: what weight loss medications are doing to your muscles and to your bladder. Hi there, Isa here, and I help women have happy vaginas, happy bladders, happy lives. I'm a physical therapist, a strength coach, and the woman who spent the last 21 years telling women the same thing. Your pelvic floor is not a mystery. It's a muscle group, 14 muscles, and this year, those 14 muscles walk straight into the middle of the biggest health trend on the planet. Welcome to my Pelvic Power Hour podcast, where each week we tackle questions from you, helping you to empower your pelvis, transform your life, and become the chief health officer of your life. Here we cut through the gimmicks, the gadgets, and the magic pill solutions to bring you real answers. Continue to elevate your knowledge and embrace your well-being. And hit that subscribe button. Now send this to every woman in your life, and send it to the woman you know who is on one of these medications, because she is wondering about this too, and she just has not said it out loud. Today's question comes from Maureen in Hartford, Connecticut. Thank you, Maureen. I have gotten a version of this question at least 30 times this month alone. And here's what Maureen wrote. Isa, I started Zepbound in January. I lost 32 pounds and I feel like myself again for the first time in years. But about 2 months ago, I started leaking a little when I laugh, when I cough, even once when I was just walking fast to the car. I don't have a cold. Nothing else changed. Is this just what happens when a woman my age loses weight? Am I doing something wrong? I'm almost embarrassed to be asking this question when the medication is working so well. Maureen, here's the whole episode in one sentence. Nobody told you there was a muscle standing in between you and your weight loss success and your bladder, and that muscle has a name. By the end of this, you will know which muscle it is, what to do about it tonight. And I'm not telling you to stop your medication. That is between you and your doctor. I'm telling you what nobody told you to do alongside it. Let's start with what these medications actually do, because you cannot protect yourself from something you don't understand. GLP-1 stands for glucagon-like peptide 1. It is a hormone your intestine already makes when you eat. Semaglutide and tirzepatide, the active ingredients in Ozempic, Wegovy, Mounjaro, and Zepbound, are lab-made versions that stay active for days instead of minutes. Your appetite drops. You are full on far less food. So let me answer the question plainly. Does Ozempic cause muscle loss? Not directly, no. What it causes is a very fast, very large drop in how much you eat, and your body cannot always tell the difference between fat it should burn and muscle it should keep. In the controlled clinical trials on these drugs, roughly a quarter of what you lose is not fat, is lean mass, muscle. Some of the newer reviews put that number even higher for people over 60. Read that again, a quarter. Not the fat around the middle. You are hoping to lose the muscle. That is the number nobody puts on the box. There it is, Maureen. Underneath the number on the scale, you lose strength you will want for the next 30 years. You did not just lose fat. You lost some of the scaffolding. And you usually see it before you feel it. Women write to me and say, my arms look old. My shoulders are sharp. My bones are sticking out. My face went hollow. And my daughter asked if I was okay. I aged 20 years in 1 year. That is not vanity. And that is not your head. That is the outside half of the exact same story. What is still catching up is somebody explaining to a woman what happens to her muscle while all of this is working on her appetite. That gap between the science and the woman in her bathroom wondering why she feels weaker while the scale says she is winning is the only villain in this episode. Not the medication, not the doctor, not your doctor, the gap. And here's the part that almost no one connects. Picture your pelvic floor as a basin, right? It is a basin. And I talk about this basin every week. It holds up your bladder, your bowel, and for many of you, your uterus, 24 hours a day without a day off. That basin is made of muscle, 14 muscles working as a team, already short-staffed for most of you by childbirth, menopause, years of sitting. Add a rapid drop in muscle mass, and that team does the same job with fewer hands. So what actually connects Ozempic-style weight loss to bladder leakage? Here is the complete answer. Rapid weight loss on these medications can reduce lean muscle mass throughout the entire body. And if the pelvic floor, which is the muscle tissue, not the fat, loses tone or strength during that process, its ability to control the bladder under pressure like a cough or a laugh can get weaker at the exact same time. Your overall body is getting smaller. And that is the muscle I promised to name for you, Maureen. It is not one muscle. It is the whole team. And that team does not hold you up by itself. It is wrapped in connective tissue. And that tissue is the scaffolding I named in my first sentence. Muscle is the strength. The scaffolding keeps the strength where it belongs. When the raw material runs short, both feel it. So this is not punishment for losing weight. This is biology asking for one more input nobody handed you at the pharmacy counter. And I want you to know why I am telling you this. I'm not just a pelvic floor specialist saying be careful. I am also a certified strength and conditioning specialist. And I have spent as many years studying how muscle is built and kept as I have studied how the pelvis heals. And nobody thinks of the pelvic floor as real muscle the way they think as of a bicep. And that is the whole problem. I have been writing about the connective tissue that holds a woman's pelvis together since 2009, long before anybody was saying Ozempic at a dinner party. There is an article on my site called The Collagen Code that puts it all together. And I'll drop the link here for you as well. Now, if this just made something click, hit that subscribe button. I'd rather you hear from someone who has spent 20 years in this tissue than from a comment in a section. So, Maureen, I never send a woman away with simply a diagnosis. Here are 5 things you can start doing tonight, and every one of them, and we can do them together actually. So number 1, protein on purpose. So what is the actual number to protect your muscle on GLP-1 medication? Most research on preserving lean muscle mass during rapid weight loss points to roughly 0.7 to 1 gram of protein per pound of your goal weight every single day, spread across all your meals, because on these medications, you're eating so much less overall. That protein has to be the first thing on your plate, not the last. And if you have any condition at all, that number is a conversation with your doctor first, not a target you set on your own. And that is your number. Write it down. Protein before the coffee. Protein on days when you're not hungry, okay, especially then. Number 2, the exercise mistake. Almost every woman on these medications is doing more cardio and calling it exercise. Walking, dancing, swimming. I love all of it. Keep doing it, but cardio does not tell your body to keep the muscle you have. Only low does. And here's the reason. Resistance training is not about building a new body while you lose weight fast. It's about maintaining the gains you already have. It is a signal that says, we still need this. Do not sell it. Strong body, strong pelvic floor. These are two that are combined. The floor is part of the body. So when you load the body, you're loading the floor too. And underneath it, the connective tissue as well. So collagen is the foundation here. And we're going to get to that in one moment. Now, number 3, This is where we do this together because nobody teaches this properly. The pelvic floor is a muscle. It needs its own load. It gets load through a Kegel. So let's do one right now, fully clothed. Wherever you are, sit really tall, really tall. Breathe in slow through your mouth, through your nose. Breathe in through your nose. Let your belly go soft. Now as you breathe out through your mouth, imagine that there's a straw in your vagina and you're sipping a smoothie up through it. Now that's the direction. Up and in, not down and out. And you're going to hold that for 5 seconds. 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 5. And make sure you're releasing completely. The release matters as much as the lift and the contraction because a muscle that never lets go is not strong. It's just tight. And that is 1 repetition, 10 of those, 3 times a day. And if you're clenching your jaw or your breath stops, you're recruiting the wrong team. So soften everything. Small and correct beats big and wrong every single time. Now, number 4, water. And before you tune this one out, let me tell you the mistake I watch women make every single week. A woman who is leaking drinks less on purpose. It feels logical. It feels less in, less out. And it backfires. Less fluid means more concentrated urine. The more concentrated the urine is, the more irritated your bladder is. It gets itchy. She drinks less and she leaks more. And these two are totally connected. So you have to drink your water. And now put that on a medication that took your appetite away, and you're eating far less. So you're going to be drinking far less too. And nobody's warning you about this. So water on purpose throughout the day, not a bottle at 9 o'clock at night though you're sipping away. Okay, that's going to make you get out of bed to go pee. Now, number 5, and this is the one that nobody hands you, and it's the piece that makes the other 4 work together. Go back to that protein number. And here's the honest problem. The whole mechanism of your medication is that you eat far less. And I just handed you a target at the moment your plate got smaller. The question is not whether you need more protein. It's whether you can actually get it down. And that's what most women reach for, collagen. And this is what most women get wrong. Most collagen is not a complete protein. There are 9 amino acids your body cannot make on its own. Most collagen powders are missing 1. And when that one is missing, the protein is incomplete. Incomplete protein cannot do the job protein does. So a woman can drink her collagen every morning, feel good about it, and still miss the number. This is why I built mine the way I did. The way I built Total Femme Collagen is fortified with L-tryptophan. And that is the amino acid most collagens leave out, and it closes the gap. Every serving carries 9. It is complete protein, which means it counts towards your number instead of sitting right next to it. The rest is just as deliberate. 11 grams of collagen peptides per serving. 4 sources instead of 1, which allows you to have all 5 collagen types, not only the skin type, but the BCAAs, which support lean muscle maintenance. Now think back to those arms that look old and that hollow face. The scaffolding is not failing. It's just not failing in one place. It is the one supply running short. The face in the mirror. The pelvis you never think about. Not one thing pulling on another. One account drawn down twice, which is why Natacol is in mine. Natacol is a wild-caught marine collagen that is type 1. And type 1 collagen is what your skin needs, what your fascia needs, and what it's built from. What collagen does is also support the scaffolding. It is the raw material for connective tissue that holds your pelvis together and holds your face up. And it is the one leg of the stool. It's just the leg that most women are missing. And one more thing. There is an ingredient almost every collagen label that I deliberately left that ingredient out of mine. And I'm going to tell you why in just 1 minute. And I'm going to tell you why it matters more than anything printed on the front of the bag. So hold on to this. Protein first. Real low, not just cardio. Your Kegel done correctly. Water on purpose and a complete protein, a collagen protein, because the scaffold needs its own raw material. Now, Maureen, here is your full answer. The muscle standing between your weight loss and your bladder is your pelvic floor. It responds to the same inputs as the rest of your muscles. Protein and low, it's just never gets invited to that conversation. And now you know how to invite it. You did nothing wrong. You were never handed the other half of the instructions. This is why you're leaking. Now, here's the thing I promise. And write this one down too. Look at the label for added vitamin C. Almost every collagen on the shelf has it, but vitamin C is ascorbic acid. And this acid is one of the most common bladder irritants there is for women our age. So I left that out of mine on purpose. Total Femme Collagen is made without added vitamin C. It is the collagen you can take every single day without the acid most powders bring. So if you cannot hit that protein number, many of us cannot, with food alone, this is why I made it 11 grams of collagen peptides per serving, 30 complete servings in one pouch, which is a complete month, all 5 collagen types from 4 different sources for the fascia and the connective tissue. They hold you up, not just for your skin. And the L-tryptophan, the amino acid nearly every other collagen leaves out, which makes Total Femme Collagen a complete protein. Go to Ruganic.com and read exactly what's in it. I'm going to put the link here for you as well below this video. And Maureen, thank you for asking this. Instead of sitting with it alone, there are women watching right now who felt exactly what you felt and were too embarrassed to say it out loud until you did. Your body did not betray you. You did not just lose fat. You lost some of the scaffolding, and that scaffolding is one of the most rebuildable things there is. You just have to give her something to build with. You are the chief health officer of your own life. And when we heal together as a collective, we all rise together. Real answers, real questions from real women, and I'll see you next week.